Hello again, I'm Rob, the Country Traveller. We were looking forward to our third visit to the Norfolk Broads this month. The coronavirus beat us to it though, but we'll be back next year. When we've been to the Norfolk Broads before, we've hired two different boats. I thought it might be helpful for anyone who is unsure which boat to hire to do a comparison of the two designs. Both of the boats had a bow thruster, and I would strongly recommend that you hire a boat with this feature. It makes mooring a lot easier. Both of these boats were suitable for a couple or a group of up to 4 people. We hired our boats from Barnes Brinkcraft in Wroxham. We could have gone to Richardson's or Herbert Woods or one of the others. Each company has its own followers, and I'm sure they're all equally professional. The first boat that we hired was an aft cockpit cruiser, the Royale. We chose this on our first visit to the Norfolk Broads, mainly because we wanted a high driving position, as we thought that this would be easier to manage the boat and also give us a better view of the countryside. The design of this boat is much like you see in marinas around the world. They're what the yachty crowd call a gym palace. Sounds good to me. We had a lovely time on the River Bure and the River Ant. We even saw an otter. So what were the plus points of the Royale, the aft cockpit cruiser design? Well, the high driving position does give a very good view of the countryside. The prow of the boat is big enough for sunbathing. As well as providing a very good view of the countryside, the high driving position also allows the person steering the boat to have a very good view of the stern of the boat. This is important when tying up in stern-on moorings, which certain locations in the Norfolk Broads require. The rear of the boat is open, which has a nice table with surrounding seating. Below deck there's a reasonable sized double bed and a galley, and also a circular table and seating, which turns into a very large double bed. So what are the negative points about the aft cruiser Royale design? Because of the high steering position, the boat's on 2 levels, which means that you need to walk down a short step ladder to get down to the lower deck with the cabin, which is not ideal for everybody. Also, there's not a lot of natural light in the cabin, although it is well illuminated. A big negative for some people is that the boat's too high to go under low bridges such as Wroxham, Potter Heigham, so you can't go upstream in this boat. One other consideration of this design is that the boat is higher, which means it's more affected by crosswinds. So when the wind's blowing, if it is a crosswind, that can make mooring more exciting. The next time that we visited the Norfolk Broads, we wanted to go upstream, so we hired a boat that would go under the bridges at Wroxham and Potter Heigham. As there was just the 2 of us, plus Edith the dog, we hired a forward drive cruiser, the Sonnet. This is a traditional design with everything on 1 level. You have to get a pilot to take you under the low bridges, which is easy to arrange. We travelled up to Coltishall, a lovely village with 2 pubs on the moorings. The river is quieter here of course because the larger boats can't get under the bridge, but it can still be busy. Let's look at the positives then of the forward drive cruiser style. As I mentioned earlier, everything's on 1 level, so it's very easy to get about. There's no steps to worry about. You can go under the low bridges. This is us going under Wroxham Bridge.
It's amazing. It is amazing going under there.
I'm glad you find it amazing.
The boat has a very easy and comfortable driving position. All areas of the boat are light and airy, which is great for watching the world go by. The front canopy opens up, which is great on a fine sunny day. What are the negatives of this design? Because of the lower driving position, the person steering the boat finds it more difficult to see the stern of the boat. There's usually somebody around though to help out with stern on moorings. The lower driving position also means that the view of the general countryside is not quite as good as it is in the higher designs. You'll still see plenty though. Because everything's on one level, it's easier for people to look in the windows and see what you're doing. Some people might find that a problem, but most won't. So there we have a comparison between the Royale, the aft cockpit cruiser style, and the Sonnet, forward drive cruiser. There are other designs of course, and many larger boats, but hopefully this comparison will give you a starting point for your choice of boat. Whichever you choose, I'm sure you'll have a fantastic boating holiday on the Norfolk Broads.
Second